We're finally live, and here's to Tuesday, lockdown, version 3, video 129. It's insane. I've started the camera rolling a little bit earlier just to make sure I get rid of any glitches. So hopefully you can tune in and listen. Listen and let me know you're present. The sense of an audience makes complete sense to me. I will be in front of that camera in a moment. We're on video number 129, and at this moment I have kept on a few layers, and I will be doing my workout in trainers. Yesterday I can't tell you how cold I became, and I don't think that's great for my health. So you don't need to wear trainers. I'm wearing them because this place is freezing. Hello Lindsay, hello Janine, let me know you're in the room. I'm going to be using weighted balls, so if you're in the room today, weighted balls or bottles or whatever you want. If you want to borrow some weights from the studio, just let us know. Morning, Anne. If you want to buy a set of balls, they're £15. They're brilliant. They're a really ergonomic type of connection of weights. Right, lockdown 3, hey. There's little doubt. It's the most, what's the word? It's distressing, it's unnerving, it's disabling, it's actually insane. There are loads and loads of people obviously affected by what's going on, and hello Pip Hall, or maybe it's Deb. Whichever way, if you're in the room with me today, let's stay as positive as we can in terms of doing what we can together. There's little doubt that in this last year, as a community of Pilates people who've gathered around screens from Facebook Live and Zoom and created a WhatsApp group connection with each other, we have actually achieved so much. The warmth and the encouragement from these WhatsApp groups and this online stuff is actually one of the benefits of the lockdowns. Not that we want to stay in lockdown. Hello Margaret, hello Kay. So all I can do is encourage you to stay connected. We're here for the long haul yet again, and if February the 15th sees us back in the studio, hallelujah. If it doesn't, we will just stick at this. I will find the resilience. Helen McGee's watching. Good girl. I will find the resilience to be here, create stuff. It's your need and my skill, along with our hearts, that make this all a little bit more meaningful than empty. You will need, if you've just wandered into the room, weighted balls. Some people say, well, what would a can of beans do? It would. But you know, somehow weighted balls are a whole lot better. Hello, Patricia. I hope that as of yesterday, if you were in the workout yesterday, your bums are hurting, your hamstrings have woken up. Hi, Ken. If you're already aching, that's a really good sign, so long as the ache is from here to here and from here to here. Today we hope to create some aching muscles in a really positive way into your upper back. So I'm standing here just giving that whole little moment of we're all in this together and telling you what's coming on at the workout. I will take my gilet off so there's more to be seen, but I do need to make sure I get a little bit warmer before I do that. Hello Jane, welcome in. Find your weights everyone. The first part of the workout, as per normal, is a standing start. We will be using the squats with the weighted balls. Your start position will be to have your weights initially whilst you stand and get yourself ready. Have your weights by the sides of your thighs. We've done this in the studio. Have your knees soft. Get breathing deeply in and out. Now, I'm aware that it's not quite time to start. I deliberately started early to get everyone in the room and make sure we have connection in more ways than through the ether. All right, in using weighted balls, I will describe that your upper back, that means between your shoulder blades, not the back of the neck, needs to be active. So if you're stood there, getting yourself ready to move, then feel for the air between your shoulder blades. While you're stood there, go into breathing deeply in and out. Find your weight through the outside of your foot to the heel and spread those toes. Keep the breath going, and then, hi Maria, following your breath, while we wait for the session to officially start, just keep the weights by the sides of your thighs and squat and stand really slowly. So we are just warming up, Maria. We've got weighted balls. The weighted balls are by the sides. You can pick weighted balls up from the studio. We do have probably about another 20 sets to sell. And if there's anything you want to borrow, glute bands, rollers, weights, we can give you, lend you, sell you, all of the above, okay? Now that everyone knows we're in this for a longer period of time, I do believe that we might need a wee bit more equipment if we don't have it. While I'm waiting for the session to properly start, I'm demonstrating the squat, and you're getting yourself into the groove, into the space, mentally and physically. The session today will be slower than it was yesterday. Yesterday was deliberately a bit of a just let's push this forwards moment. Today we will settle in because this is a new norm. You'll use your breath in to go down and your breath out to come back up. I'm going to change my position so that you can see the angles. Remember, you hinge at the hip, you sit your bottom back, and you keep your upper back connected through the upper back shoulder mid area, so between the shoulder blades, the scapula. By pushing your hands against the balls, you're actually pressing the balls then into the thighs, and that helps you connect with your upper back. So the breath in is a downwards phase, and the breath out. People that have tuned in early, don't worry, this is just you warming up the body. You can just watch this bit through if you don't want to officially start. Whichever way, I think probably the best thing is to get tuned in just before the actual 9:30 moment. I am aware, hi Sarah, I'm aware some people are home working, and therefore it really matters that it is a kind of 20-minute moment, and therefore I appreciate you will be tuning in bang on the moment because you're working. Whichever way, if you're just tuning in, I've got weighted balls in my hands and I'm doing the squat shape to warm my breathing up and get my global muscle connection. The feet are parallel, my heels are under my knees are under my hip bones, and my arms are simply pressing against the weights. I can feel my hamstring glutes from yesterday, which is a lovely feeling if I'm honest. All right people, the next time you come up to stay, stand up and hold that there. Go and take the weighted balls to a bicep position. You're breathing in and out. If you've just wandered in, we're now going to go to tiptoes, but I actually tiptoed and rolled forwards. That's from wearing trainers, which I'm not used to wearing. All right, your knees are soft. You're now holding the weights in the palms of the hands. It's very hard to do tiptoes in trainers. I've explained that I'm wearing trainers because my feet just froze yesterday. Oh, okay. If you can keep the weights in your hands and make the bicep take the weights and the upper back, the way you do that is to pull your shoulder blades together and keep your collarbones open. We're holding a static position to get you switched on across the upper back. Up onto your toes and back down again. Hi Lorna, don't worry, we're just doing a preamble. Really waiting for people to come into the room and connect. We're doing a squat with a bicep hold, so stability work through the upper back. I keep overbalancing in trainers. All right, let that go. Good morning, Tom. So you've got your bicep curl. If you've just tuned in, pull your elbows down to your hip bones. You're not late. I kind of got the body moving earlier because this place is cold. All right, elbows are tucked in towards pointing to the hip bones. Pelvis is absolutely neutral. You're going to keep the upper body active. That's across the upper back. I have to work really hard to tell my upper back to take the weight of the balls that are in my arms. So as you pull your hips backwards and keep the bicep curl, that means the bicep, top of the upper arm frontal, is active whilst I'm working into the squat. By doing this static position with the upper body, there should be an increasing connection, not with your back muscles, but with the muscles between the shoulder blades. So nothing in the lower back, everything actually between the shoulder blades. Pull your collarbones wide open. Get the shoulder blades pulling towards each other. The further back you keep your elbows, the better you're going to work this, so your upper arm reaches almost fractionally backwards and the chest feels like it's open, but you haven't popped your ribs. I'm changing positions just so if you're unsure, you get to see. Okay, we're going to stay down there. Now take the weights and reach them behind you. I'm in my squat, my weights are behind me and the shoulder blades are working hard. Exhaling, pelvic tilt, and pull the weights towards each other. Breathe in and hold that, lumbar stretch. Breathe out and take the weight slightly away. This is like doing dart. Breath out, pull the scapula together, fractional pelvic tilt, inhale and back. So the only part of your spine that you're moving is the lumbar. You're using pelvic floor and you're using internal oblique. You've got just 2 more. Use your breathing muscles. 1 more. And then stay in your squat. Now inhale, float your arms up to the seat, up to the front of you. Exhale, come down into your squat and reach them backwards behind your pelvis. Breathe in, they come forwards, no higher than the shoulders or breast area. Breathing out into your upper back. Your technical difficulty is to find that the shoulder, the front of the chest, the back of the chest, doesn't round as your arms go forwards. So maintaining shoulder stabilisation is what matters in this moment. It's all about finding the right muscles to take the load of those balls, and it won't be in your deltoid or the top of your shoulder. You inhale and sit your bottom back. You breathe out and stand up. Inhaling, sit your bottom back, take your arms back, reach the weights towards each other. Breathing out. We're going to go down and stay. So in the downwards phase, pick up your left foot to tiptoes and then add the increase with the right leg going up and down. We did this yesterday without weights. So the difficulty here is keeping your upper back muscles active. Nod your chin in, don't tuck your bottom under. Do keep the load through the hamstring glutes on that leg that's got the heel down. Breathing in and out, and heel down. Ready for the other side, check your symmetry. Now if it gets too intense with the weighted balls, pull them forwards, bend at your elbows as though you're holding them into as though they are your bicep. But you must keep your upper body stable. Your inhale, exhale is the increased demand on the hamstring glute. It's like doing single leg work, but people that are bendy, like Maria, like Tom, don't tuck your bottom under. Keep that pelvis, stay with you, Patricia, in neutral. All right, are you ready? Split your arms and slow motion switch. And slow motion switch. The switch is obviously the foot to foot. The thing to watch is that as your arms move, you don't throw the arm higher than the shoulder. You're better off actually keeping it lower. That way you're more likely, when you do that, you're more likely to get your deltoid and upper traps. You don't want those. You want to keep it between your shoulder blades as you exchange and exchange. As I'm doing this, nothing in my back's working in terms of lower back, high waist, because I'm core stabilising. Hamstrings and glutes know it's happening, and my upper body maybe through the upper back shoulder area, maybe nose, depends on how strong or weak you are. All right, people, the next time, place both heels down. Are you ready for the release? Breathe out, pull your chin to your throat, and roll down. That means your rib cage is bent in half, your back feels the stretch, your head's hanging, and you can do a gentle press through the heels, letting the hamstring length and back out. On the journey back up, pull your weights onto your thighs, press against your thighs, and pelvic core floor tilt, roll up into your stand. Next position then, take your feet wider. With the wide legs, your arms are going to be here. We're going straight into your arms coming forwards as you squat. The weights are facing each other. Your upper back feels the shoulder stabilizers. You're not gripping your bum. And then inhaling and exhaling. You can actually switch the breath, to be honest. So you can exhale and inhale. It's not wrong or right. It's just possibly an easier connect, because the greatest load is as you push the ground away from you and you think of your upper back muscles working between the scapula. Inhaling, sit that bottom backwards. Breathing out, open your chest. Breathe in. Hinge at the hip, take the thighs wide. Breathe out. If turnout, which I've got a little bit of on the legs, is too intense on your hips, go to parallel. So you're coming, inhaling down and exhaling back up. Inhaling The arm closes at the shoulder without rounding the spine, and exhaling back up. So as your arms stay without rounding the spine when they move, that's the essence of shoulder stability. And the pelvic stability comes as you place your sit bones backwards, as your knee joint flexors and your hip flexors, and you find your hamstring glute. Next time you go down, stay. Now take your arms back again and reach them so that on the inhale they're going to go sides, and exhale. So we've got an inner range move now. My weights are facing each other, and you notice it the most as you push back up and down a bit. So I'm going up and down, inhaling, up and down, exhaling, keeping my upper back between the shoulder blades active, pelvic floor, navel to spine activity through the core. And again, can I just say, if it's in your lower back, pull those weights in, pull your elbows back, because you're still using the weights to add load to the right place, but there's nothing to be gained by actually working the upper shoulder area, okay? Everything is to be gained by pulling your shoulder blades together. So the activity, if you've got the strength, is your arms pulling in and back at the simultaneous time as your legs go. With 2 more, 1 more, and then once again, let those weighted balls, or the weights, create that reach, the length through the middle back to upper back. Breathe to inhale, exhale the rib cage and stretch the spine. And then on a good breath out, ground your heels. Take the weights back to your thighs and pelvic tilt, and return yourself back up to stand. And finally warm again. So I'm going to take off a layer. Right, your next position. I'll stand on the mat for this. We're going to go back into the squat. If you take it so that you find your squat, and then take your arms backwards. Again, if it's too intense, please pull your arms in. You're going to pivot your right foot to tiptoes, and then step it back. Okay, we're going to go up. But everyone do this. Keep your weights by the side of your hip bones. It's more likely that you get your shoulder stability system working properly as you do it like this. You're going step back, step forwards. Remember that step back, it's the scooter shape. The added weight increases the load on the hamstring glute and hopefully your upper back. Please get rid of the weights if it's not really working for you. Now, next time I go back, I'm going to stay. The load is the front leg. I'm going to split my arms and then take that step up and step back. Your load needs to go backwards, so you sit into the front leg, which for me is my left foot. Left leg is forwards, so my left heel. The thing that goes wrong when we see this in the studio is people step too far back or try and put the heel down to the floor. Don't let your back heel, for me it's my right leg, go down to the floor. If you're getting this accurately, you'll find you get an increasing connection with the hamstring glute on the front leg. So the side of your bottom side of your thigh is still keeping the breathing muscles. Inhaling, exhaling. If you've got the mind for it, you're keeping your shoulder blades drawing towards each other and you're resisting the chest rounding. Just do me 2 more and let that go. Ready for the other side. Weights are in as you find your form, and we go back and up. I remind you of the BLEPS baseline essential principles are: keep the load through your front heel. Make sure the moving leg that steps back doesn't step too far back. It can't be in your knee joint. It has to stay. Hamstring glute on that front leg, and the back leg needs to be soft. The back leg takes very little weight. The back heel stays up to the ceiling and you refuse to step too far back. We'll go down and stay. Staying there. Check everything's as it should be. Switch your arms and up and think of slow-mo marshmallow softness, looking as though it's all effortless. Remember, your intensity continues in the hamstring glutes of your right seated area. Yep, so you're inhaling and exhaling. I can feel my hamstrings playing their part. It's not too intense that they feel strain or that whole, you can't have one part of you feeling it as though it's a real isolated bum bone connection. It has to be the whole of the back of the thigh and the side of the bottom. No hot spots. All right, we've got 4 more and 3 more. You can focus on your breath. Okay, making a last move and up. Well done. What we need now is to go into the side abductor work. Take a breather, have your feet, make sure everything's parallel. I'm using the back of my mat, and find your squat. I'm going to go for an L shape here, so I've taken out my right arm with my right leg, and my left arm is going to reach back, trying to help my upper body stay aligned. So my right leg is going to step to the side and step up. I'm going to take its sides. Now if you use the side of your mat, you'll notice whether or not you end up veering forwards or back, and the sense that you pull your bottom backwards in the direction of behind you as you abduct. In other words, go to the side and return. My arm goes out, my arm comes back in. Go out and stay. Now go back to that contralateral arms, and we're doing the same here. You're sliding the leg out sideways, much more of a skater effect now. Again, remember, if your upper body is taking all of the attention and you've lost your legs, you always go back to the hamstring glutes, in other words, the pelvic stability. If you're feeling it in your spinal area, muscle-wise, then we know the weights are too heavy, or you've lost your trunk connection because the choreography of moving arms and legs is too demanding. In which case, you just pull your arms into your sides. Remember that the leg that you're staying still with, bending and bringing together, sits backwards, the knees don't travel forwards with the toes, and if you use a line on a mat, it will guide you. This is not unlike the previous activity, less hamstring though, far more abductor. Abductor is side bottom. So those doing your arms, you've got that slow-mo fluffy moment where it's effortless. All right, we have 1 more. Are you ready for the other side? Check your alignment. Find your squat. If you can, it's 1 arm back, the arm back of the leg that isn't going to move, and then arm sideways. You go tap and return, tap and return. Sit backwards, stand up tall. Sit backwards, stand up tall. Your arm that's moving with the leg that's moving tries to stay below armpit height. So you'll not see my arm up by my neck. Spatial awareness is really what that's about. You're holding your weight in the palms of the hands. They're not grabbed, you're not digging your fingernails in. And remember, if you're too tired in the upper body, you still get the benefit of weighted work if you hold the weight into the side of your hip. Down you go, up you go. Don't cut short the standing moment. You don't want to do this. You want to come upright, because upright is where life is. You go down, you stand up. You flex the hip, the knee, the ankle, you open the hip, the knee, the ankle. Your breath muscles keep your trunk stability. You've got 2 more, and you've got 1 more, and you come up tall. Well done. Okay, we finished the leg workout with the upper body. You're now going to simply roll down to free up any unwanted activation of the lumbar spine. So sit your feet, heels down, knees bent. Breathe out, keep the weights on the thighs, nod the chin, and then slide into forwards flexion. Head, neck and shoulders. Don't let your lower back bend. Do keep your sit bones reaching up. Let your head hang. Obviously I'm teaching talking. And can you inhale and exhale? You want to get everything just straight towards the ground. So my sit bones reach the sky. My lumbar spine stays flat, if not more neutral. But then my ribcage to head has the privilege of release. Don't try and straighten your legs, because it's not appropriate, okay? We're going to come out of this moment, weighted ball on the thighs, press against the thighs, as you pelvically tip, tilt, roll, and then roll your shoulders and release. Allow your arms to hang, keep your feet parallel, and let the arms allow the weights to release the shoulder. Inhaling. I'm not trying to lift the weights. I'm not fixing anything. Just got that gentle rhythmical moment around the shoulder, thoracic area. All right, people, we've done well. Another workout under our belt on lockdown version 3. Allow the arms to stay still. And it's time to say goodbye as we prep going in for the next video, which will use the weights still if you want to. It's not mandatory, it's just an option. And we'll be starting lying on our backs, ready to work our pelvic trunk stability, and then our upper backs again. All right, it's great to have shared this moment. Let's have another moment in a moment. It's a bye for now, and still keep your smile.